What is going on, everyone? I'm Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, and I'm here to give you my review on a game called Anomaly 2. Now, what is Anomaly 2? Anomaly 2 is a real-time strategy tower defense-based game featuring a single-player campaign and a competitive multiplayer as well. In the single-player campaign, you're playing as a sergeant who has a special combat suit giving him unique abilities on the battlefield as you're playing through the single-player campaign. And pretty much the whole point of the campaign is in search of a device. The device is called Project Shockwave, which is pretty much the last line of defense for planet Earth. Now let me go ahead and talk about the graphics. How are the graphics in this game? In my opinion, the graphics are great. On the PC, you do have a wide variety of graphical options to choose from to fit your proper needs. And of course, the level design in the game is fantastic, and so are the units and the towers that you'll be facing in the game. Now, of course, this is pretty much a planet, the planet Earth has been invaded by aliens, so you don't expect planet Earth to be in the greatest shape at all. You could tell from the destruction that you're seeing on each of the level that this has been going on for quite some time. Like I said, I am not familiar with the original story of the game. I have not played the first one, but obviously this invasion has been going on for quite some time, and Earth is not in the greatest state. You could tell that by looking into the levels that you're visiting, like visiting New York, the forest areas, and so much more. The level design is great, and of course the animations are really smooth and slick, where you don't see any animation errors or anything. Even when you're fast forwarding the game, everything still runs smooth and fantastic as well. So overall, in my opinion, the graphics are great. The level design is top notch, and which is a great thing for a game like this. Now let me go ahead and talk about the gameplay. The gameplay overall is great. Now what you're doing is that you're controlling pretty much one unit in the game. The unit you're controlling is the commander. The commander is the one equipped with the special combat suit, giving him unique abilities. The abilities that you're able to use is repair, EMP, decoy, and of course sabotage as well. As for the other units on the map, in terms of the units that are going from point A to point B, the only thing you're doing with them is that you're able to sell those units, to repair those units, able to maneuver in certain ways that, if you want them in terms of the front of the line or on the back of the line, and of course buying new units as well. And the other last thing that you're doing with them is that you're basically telling them where to go. Now you don't select the units and tell them exactly where to go one at a time. They're just going on one pathway. Not each unit goes their own separate pathways. They're in just one line going from point A to point B, but what you do in order to control those units is that you bring up the tactical map. You're going to notice a blue line. The blue outline is the pathway they're going to follow, and you're going to notice that certain junctions that you're going to have these double arrows. When you click the double arrows, it's going to change the pathway around. And of course on the tactical map it shows where all the enemy towers are, but as you're playing in the campaign, the towers are, new towers are going to be repairing. So the strategy in terms of what's taking place is always going to keep changing as you're playing in the campaign. So you're always going to be maneuvering your units around different pathway. So if, like for example, if you want to take a different pathway to where you're not facing so many towers so you don't suffer from losing units, or maybe you want to take the special pathway, which is going to be risky, but at the end you're going to get some more currency in which you could use to build more units and so forth. Now, like I said, the main unit you're controlling around is the commander. The commander has different abilities. So for example, repair, what repair does is that you're able to repair your units. Decoy, which is one of my personal favorite in terms of elements that you're able to use. Now for the decoy, what you do is that you set the decoy off into pretty much a distance, because they have a really good radius in terms of the decoy section. And what you do is that you place it there, and the enemy towers are going to focus fire on that decoy until the decoy is destroyed or the time frame runs out, which gives you a unique advantage for your units to take out those towers before they come back attacking you. Same goes for the EMP. You're able to use an EMP ability, which disables the enemy towers for a short radius, giving you a unique advantage to take out the towers before they come back. And sabotage allows you to destroy a structure or to damage, depending on what kind of structure you're facing, because the enemy towers, there's a wide variety of structures to choose from. Some do like massive damage, others go from long distances, and so forth. But the gameplay altogether, like I said, simple. All you're doing is controlling a commander. You're using your abilities that's going to fit your proper needs and depending on the situation you're in, and you're just placing the markers for units to follow. That's pretty much it. So the gameplay is simple and easy to understand and works out great.
It's working! Open wide, you scum! Remember to use your ability. Enemy eliminated! We got them all! That's awesome! We're hit!
Overall, the sound design is great from everything that you heard from those two clips, and of course altogether inside this entire game, the sound design is top notch, and of course the soundtrack for this game is amazing as well. As for the lifespan, what kind of lifespan do we see in a game like this? Is this a game where players are only going to play once or twice then forget about it, or does this game offer an additional mode that people are keep coming back to and play over and over again? Well, the main lifespan for this game, I would have to say it's its online multiplayer aspect, and then the next right after that, it's a single player campaign, because in the campaign, you do have a wide variety of difficulties to choose from. The highest is Nightmare mode, especially when you're playing on the higher end missions. On Nightmare mode, that is really crazy. Like, really, the mode Nightmare mode stands out to be true because it is chaotic and is one of the most difficult things that I've ever played. But like I said, it's a real-time strategy game, so it's nice to have that unique challenge and feel to it, because that's one of the main reasons for a real-time strategy game. Now, like I said, the main reason I think people are going to keep coming back to this game is its online competitive multiplayer to compete on the leaderboards to see who's the best of the best at this game. Now, in terms of the multiplayer, because I didn't really cover it yet, is one side is playing as the commander unit like you've played in the single player campaign. The only other difference is that you're going to be facing off against another online player, and that player is going to be the one building towers, or vice versa. You could be the one building towers just like you've seen in the campaign to stop the enemy reinforcement and so forth. So it has a nice competitive side of things, and it's a really cool one as well. Like I said, the main reason I think people are going to keep coming back to this is for its multiplayer. If not the multiplayer, then the difficulty options for the single player campaign. Now let me go ahead and talk about the innovative. Did they bring anything new to the table, or is it just a copy and paste from the original? Like I said, I never played the original, so I can't really compare in terms of the first one with the second one, but what I can do is compare from the other tower defense style games I played in the past. The ones I played in the past never really had a story. All you did was build towers, you defend against enemy units, and then you get points to build more towers, and that was pretty much the basic that I knew of. But in terms of this one having a whole campaign, a whole new strategy evolved and so forth, I thought it was pretty cool, a unique one that I'd never seen before. And to be honest, I can't really name any tower defense style games that has a story or even a structure similar to this one, in my opinion. So I think this is a first for its kind. But like I said, I can't really name any, but for what this game is supposed to be and how it is, altogether, in my opinion, is great. So altogether, I'm going to give this game an 8.5 out of 10. If you guys would like to check out the full walkthrough, you can check it out over at Gamerfuzion.com. Anyways, I'm Sir James, and remember, Gamerfuzion empowers your gaming.